Hi lovely people, it's April with Feeling Crazy Mama, Moms and Mental Health. Today we're going to play a little bit. I think play is so important to life, to being able to get recentered and just to let go. So we're going to start out with these little fellas. Once again, nothing in this video is sponsored. These are just little tools that I like to use either for myself or in my practice, my mental health practice. And I have to laugh because he's so cute. Like, he's angry, but he's so cute. So do you ever have those days where you just feel like you have so many emotions at once? There's this scared little person. This one, what is this one? Hurt. Oh, feeling hurt, feeling left out. Maybe a little, I think, jealous. Yep, jealous. We have so many emotions that are going through us at any given time. When we add a daily stressor to it, or when a daily stressor is added to it, because sometimes it's not in our control, those feelings can feel all jumbled. They're super jumbled up, and we might not be able to identify what it is we're feeling. And so one way to be able to do that, I mean, we have these little fellas. My daughter likes to play with them, and we name the emotions, and we talk about how we can sit with it and what might help make it feel better if you're feeling that way. There's a lot of mention of hugs and I loves you. It's so sweet. But yeah, looking at, okay, what emotions might be present with me. And sometimes it's hard to do that. And so my main tip in that is, like I said, play. If you want to get out and dig in some dirt, do some gardening, actually swing on a swing, or play with dolls. It's okay. We're never too old. If you have a kid, it gives you an excuse. But just playing in whatever way. I like to bake because I like to get messy. I get my hands in the flour, and I can play around and feel the texture. And that just really helps me get to this place of, here's this thing that I'm focusing on right now. However, there's also another way that is really true and dear to my heart, because I love to write. And one of the reasons I love to write is when I was a teenager, I had so many emotions going through. Do you recall? Do you relate? Like, you might have experienced the same thing. And a way that I found to be able to express those and explore those is through writing. So the way that we're going to play today is through what some could call journaling, but I think sometimes if we put that name on it, people get deterred. So we'll just say we're doing some writing. And my favorite thing to do is to do a free write. So letting your unconscious just kind of play. And you can start out by asking yourself the question, what am I feeling today? If you just aren't quite sure, you just have all these things buzzing around in you, you can say, what am I feeling today? And then you set a timer, or if you have a clock nearby, or just write till you feel that you've expressed what you need to. And the trick is, so we can say, what am I feeling today? The trick is to never stop writing. Okay, so you set your timer. It can be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you think is doable for you. And I want you to push go on that timer and let your hand just keep moving. I'm just writing scribbles just for the sake of this video. But what I would typically do is just write whatever comes to mind. Don't stop to look at grammar, punctuation, spelling, anything like that. Just keep your hand moving. Okay? If you can't think of something, what you can do is just write a scratch like that, or a little swirl, just whatever you need to do to keep that hand moving. And then at the end of that 3 minutes, or whenever the timer goes off, you can go back and look. What is it that I'm feeling today? And oftentimes, I don't know why I say often, I've never personally had an experience where I didn't tell myself what I was experiencing. Sometimes maybe it's a story. This thing happened today and I didn't realize how much it upset me. And now that I sit down and think about it and write it out, I understand that that's what it is, and I understand that it impacted me more. So it kind of gives you the key to the puzzle. Like, what am I feeling? That's the key. Like, we have the knowledge inside of us. We're just not always taught to explore it or to ask ourselves, what is it that I'm actually feeling? So that's what I want to invite you to do. I keep these little notebooks because then, they have a cute little saying and it inspires me to take them around with me. This one says, be brave enough to live your life. And I'd say be brave enough to look at your emotions. It's so necessary to not only look at what's the positivity I can bring into my life, but also what's the stuff that's bothering me, the stuff that's making me uncomfortable, that might feel a little murky and I might not feel comfortable expressing it to someone, or I don't know who to express it to. Go ahead and write it in one of these. Okay, so I just keep these little notebooks around because they're cute, and also, like, I'm not worried about writing the perfect thing in it. I know it's just to write out, what is it that I'm feeling today? And then sit with it. One thing that I hear time and again is, I'm afraid to do this because someone might read it. Okay, let's practice not being committed to it. You write it out, you explore it, and by committed, I mean just because you wrote it doesn't mean you have to keep it around, okay? It's purely for this exercise. So then you can tear it up and throw it in the trash. You can safely burn it in like a little, if you have a fireplace or something like that, but in some way being able to get rid of it so you don't have to be concerned that someone might find it and read what it says, if that's a concern of yours. Sometimes I do this and I realize, oh, I'm having an issue in a friendship or a relationship, and then I'm able to share it with someone. Like, hey, I didn't know what was going on and I didn't think it impacted me when you said that to me, but it really did. And so it allows me the space to have that conversation and really gets my thoughts out on paper, literally, to organize them and know what might be helpful to say to that friend to better explore this. So here's this little one. This one, I love it. Just looks so like, kind of like it has a secret, but also a little bit confident, right? And this one is brave. So I want to encourage you. Be brave. Take a look. Take a look at those thoughts and feelings. If it becomes too overwhelming, reach out to someone. If you want to talk about what came up, you can do that, or you can just call and talk about a movie you saw. You don't always have to express what's going on if that's preventing you from reaching out and getting support. So do that. If you need to, also reach out, find a therapist, someone to work with through those emotions that are coming up. My wish is that we all learn how to notice our feelings and be able to express them. I think this movement, the movement for understanding and rights and equality, is not just a logical one, but an emotional one. And there is every right and reason to have those emotions. I just want people to be able to put them somewhere, to be able to explore them so that we can move forward. We can be brave enough to live our lives. Until next time, I see you, I hear you. Please send comments so we can make it a conversation. All right, take care. Bye-bye.